is Bryce Fisher, and this is my overview of the iHeartRate applications. iHeartRate consists of two main applications, one being the Apple Watch application and the other being a web application. The Apple Watch application uses this heart rate sensor within the Apple Watch in order to collect data, which is then sent to the back end, which stores the information into the database. The web application then pulls the information from the database through the back end and displays that information to the user. Some of the project features include Sign in with Apple for both the web application and the Apple Watch application, the ability to start and stop recording from the Apple Watch application. The user has the ability to view a table, a graph, the average heart rate, and the last recorded heart rate from the web application, as well as select certain time frames that they would like to see, setting a profile picture, as well as exporting data from the web application. The Apple Watch application uses a very minimalist design with only 3 buttons, one being the Sign in with Apple, and the other 2 being the start and stop recording button to tell the application either to store the information or not to. The application also includes a background task feature that even if the user exits the app and is recording, the application will still store that information. As for the web application, it's formatted within a dashboard view in order for the user to see everything that the dashboard has to offer, but also has the ability to expand certain menus in order to get a better detailed look. The application also includes GUI format components in order to have the user input dates and time selectors in order for them to format it correctly. The biggest decision that was made throughout the design phase was the Sign in with Apple button and the implementation that has along with it, which is the iHeartRate application not having to deal with authentication, but having the ability to connect both the applications to each other. As for the web application, it was created using React as well as Material UI in order to create a user-friendly and responsive design. The Apple Watch was implemented using Swift and URL session in order to connect to the backend, which the backend is implemented through Express.js and creates a REST API to connect the Apple Watch application, web application, to MongoDB, which stores all the information. One of the main features I would like to get up and running is the Continue with Apple feature for the Apple Watch application. As of right now, the user only has the ability to sign in with Apple, but with the addition of Continue with Apple, they would have the ability to either sign up or sign in. Another goal in mind for iHeartRate would be to deploy the application on the Apple App Store, as well as fixing one bug that deals with shrinking the screen and the responsiveness getting disoriented. But other than that, all other features work properly. And now here's the Apple Watch application demo.
And if I scroll to the left, you can see that we have the iHeartRate application right here. And if I go ahead and I can click on that, and it'll bring up the sign-in page that uses Sign in with Apple to connect the Apple ID. So if I go ahead and click on Sign in, we can see that it says use iHeartRate with Apple ID, and we can say continue. And then I'll say signing in, it'll bring us to the recording page where we have the start stop button. So if I go ahead and press start, it will actually start recording to the iHeartRate application that we'll see in a later video. But you can see that once I click start, the application will start recording, and then the button will actually change to stop. And then I can go ahead and click stop, and it will stop recording the heart rate information to iHeartRate. But I can go ahead and click start again and leave the application. and I can even go back in, and you can see that it is still recording to the web application.
Now I would like to demo the web application. This is a web application deployed using Firebase from Google. This is the first page that the user will land on, which just explains more about both the iHeartRate application, how the information is collected, and how the information is stored and viewed through this website. Up at the top, I have the Continue with Apple button, which if we click on, will bring me to Apple's sign-on page, which I can then put my fingerprint into in order to authenticate myself. So it will go ahead and create a response to send to Apple, which then sends a response back to log in the user and show them their dashboard, which all the information is loaded in. And starting from the left-hand side, you can see that my little profile picture, I can go ahead and click on and select any other picture I would like to set as that. I also have the ability to click on the table and chart buttons in order to expand each one of these in order to get a more detailed view, like I was saying before. The refresh button in the upper right hand corner allows you to get back to the main dashboard view, as well as refresh any of the data that is within the table, the chart, or the average heart rate. As for those three components, they are all updated as you flick through the pages of the table. So as you can see, the information is updating within the chart, as well as updating the information for the average heart rate. As for the last recorded heart rate, that is just going to be simply the last recorded heart rate that the user has sent in. Another feature from the web application is the select dates, which will bring up this formatter in order for the user to input certain dates that they would like to see their heart rate information from. If I go ahead and select a certain time period of where I know there is information, we will be able to see that the application has the ability to only show that information throughout that time period, as well as updating the table with that same information and grabbing the average heart rate from all the information collected. This box also has the ability to tell the user when there is no information within the time period they selected. So if we go ahead and say select, it will say no data found in between those days, as well as if the times are incorrect, meaning the start date is before the end date, then it will also give you an error saying that inputs are incorrect. The last two features of the iHeartRate application is the report log, which generates JSON formatted data of all the heart rates that is associated with the user's account, as well as the logout feature, which simply removes the cookie from the session and sends the user back to the index page. And that is the full functionality of the iHeartRate applications. Thank you so much for watching.